Good morning, viewer. Welcome to our Fosak TV US. Here is the breaking news. Yes, the Russian soldiers refusing to fight in Ukraine. Some Russian troops are refusing to return to fight in Ukraine because of their experiences on the front line at the start of the invasion, according to Russian human rights lawyers and activists. The BBC has been speaking to one such soldier. I don't want to go back to Ukraine to kill and be killed, says Sergei, not his real name, who spent 5 weeks fighting in Ukraine earlier this year. He is now home in Russia, having taken legal advice to avoid being sent back to the front line. Sergei is just one of hundreds of Russian soldiers understood to have been seeking such advice. Sergei says he is traumatized by his experience in Ukraine. I had thought that we were the Russian army, the most super duper in the world, says the young man bitterly. Instead, they were expected to operate without even basic equipment such as night invasion devices, he says. We are like blind curtains. I am shocked by our army. It would not cost much to equip us. Why was not it done? Sergei joined the army as a conscript. Most Russian men between the ages of 18 to 27 must complete 1 year of compulsory military service. But after a few months, he made the decision to sign a 2-year professional contract which would also give him a salary. In January, Sergei was sent near the border with Ukraine for what he was told would be military drills. A month later, 24 February, the day Russia launched its invasion, he told to cross the border. Almost immediately, his unit found itself under attack. As they stopped for the evening in an abandoned farm, their commander said, "Well, as you all have worked out by now, this is not a joke." Sergei says he was completely shocked. My first thoughts were, is this really happening to me? They were continually shelled, he says, both when moving and when parked overnight. In his unit of 50 people, 10 were killed and 10 others wounded. Almost all his comrades were under the age of 25. He heard of Russian servicemen so inexperienced that they did not know how to shoot and could not tell one end of a mortar from another. He says his convoy traveling through northern Ukraine broke up after just 4 days when a bridge then were about to cross exploded, killing comrades ahead of them. In another incident, Sergei says he had to overtake comrades trapped inside a burning vehicle in front of him. It was blown up from a grenade launcher or something else. It caught fire and there were Russian soldiers inside. We dropped around it and on, firing as we went. I did not look back. His unit moved on through the Ukrainian countryside, but there was a clear lack of strategy, he says. Reinforcements failed to arrive and soldiers were poorly equipped for the task of taking a large city. We went without helicopter, just in a column, though we were heading to a parade. He believes his commanders had planned to capture strongholds and key cities very quickly, had calculated that the Ukrainians would simply surrender. We refused and we rushed forward with short overnight siege, without trenches, without reconnaissance. We did not leave anyone in the rear. So if someone decided to come in from behind and hit us, there was no protection. I think that our guys died largely because of this. If we had moved gradually, if we had checked the roads for mines, many losses could have been avoided. Sergei's complaints about lack of equipment have also emerged in phone conversation alleged to be between Russian soldiers and their families, intercepted and posted online by the Ukrainian security services. At the beginning of April, Sergei was sent back over the border to a camp on the Russian side. Troops had been withdrawn from northern Ukraine and appeared to be regrouping for an assault in the east. Later that month, he received an order to return to Ukraine, but told his commander that he was not prepared to go. He said, "It was my choice. They did not even dissuade us because we were not the first," Sergei told to the reporter, but he had been sufficiently worried about his unit's reaction to his refusal that he decided to seek legal advice. A lawyer told Sergei and two like-minded colleagues to return their arms and go back to their unit's headquarters, where they should file a letter explaining that they were morally and psychologically exhausted and could not continue fighting in Ukraine. Sergei was told that returning to the unit was important because simply leaving could be interpreted as desertion, which can result in a 2-year sentence in a disciplinary battalion. Army commanders try to intimidate contract soldiers into staying with their units, according to Russian human rights lawyer Alexei Tavalov, but he stressed that Russian military law does include clauses which allow soldiers to refuse to fight if they don't want to. Human rights activist Sergei Krivenko says he is not aware of any prosecution of those refusing to return to the front. That is not to say that prosecutions are not being attempted. Beyond this report, Fosak TV USA.